All right, folks, I'm Tom Downey. Alongside me is Harris Rubenstein. We are finished with the NBA trade deadline, so let's recap all the deals that went down today. We'll give some analysis as well, and then stay tuned later on for some winners and losers as well. So we'll go to the big one, not from today, but the big one that kind of started all the chaos the past couple of days. That's the Mavs and the New York Knicks. Kristaps goes to Dallas along with Tim Hardaway, Courtney Lee, and Trey Burke. The Knicks get Dennis Smith, DeAndre West Matthews, and 2 future first-round picks. The Mavs go all in on KP and Luka.
I hated this trade for the Knicks until I saw those 2 first-round picks. I like getting – look, they basically traded away Kristaps Porzingis and the 2 worst contracts on their team for 3 first-round picks. It's not bad at the end of the day. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be a really fun player to watch in New York. Maybe they get Kevin Durant. Maybe they end up getting someone like Kemba Walker, DeMarcus Cousins, whatever it is, to pair with Dennis Smith Jr. We'll see. I also think DeAndre Jordan hitting the buyout market soon is going to be fun.
Right, so let us know who won that trade. I will lean toward the Mavs for now, but there's risk involved for both sides. What if Kristaps is never healthy again? What if the Knicks don't get a big
I don't think the Mavericks make this trade, though, without some sort of assurance that Kristaps is going to be able to play at a high level again.
Agreed.
And want to also point this one thing out. Kristaps has already said he's ready to play. Yeah. He's already ready to come back. The reason he hasn't come back yet is because he doesn't want to play for the Knicks anymore. Straight up. That was the reason. So, we'll see.
All right, Cavs and the Blazers get used to seeing Wade Baldwin and Nick Stauskas involved. They were shipped out with 2 second-round picks in exchange for Rodney Hood to the Cavs. They re-signed Hood and got at least some assets going forward there.
Yeah, and Hood's a good player for the Portland Trailblazers. They needed someone else on the wing that can hit threes. Rodney Hood can do just that. And also, if they don't want to give him a big extension, they can give him a qualifying offer this summer and keep him in town.
All right, the Clippers and the Sixers. Sixers went all in, really, for this year. They trade for Tobias Harris, Boban as well, which I think will be a fun Embiid combo.
Yeah.
Those two will be fun together. Clippers get Wilson Chandler, Landry Shamet, Mike Muscala, who asterisks on Mike Muscala because we'll get to him later on. 2 first-round picks and then 2 second-round picks.
We got another trade.
Oh, what do we have? Oh, there it is. All right, I'll get to it.
All right.
You analyze this one, though. I see it.
I thought that the Clippers made out like bandits in this trade. They got 3 first-round picks for Tobias Harris and Boban Marjanovic. Like, Landry Shamet is a really nice young player. Those 2 first-round picks, including the unprotected pick in 2021 from Miami, that's also really nice. So now, if you're the Clippers, the combination that you guys are going into in terms of your young talent, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Landry Shamet, along with multiple first-round picks, and also they just got Ivica Zubac from the Lakers. So they have a couple nice young pieces that they can build around, but also a team that's going to be bad enough to, not make the playoffs this year.
All right, some more trades here. The Detroit Pistons and the LA Lakers. Fima Mikhailiuk and a second-round pick go for Reggie Bullock there, Harris.
Yeah, it was so funny to me when everyone was calling the Lakers Svi Mikhailiuk on the Lakers the next Klay Thompson. Now he gets traded 5 months later for, an okay wing player. Just shows you how young players are evaluated in the NBA and how they're kind of valued. If you're a second-round pick that hasn't proved anything through 40 games, you're not really worth anything.
All right, more trades. Stan Maker on the road. He goes to the Detroit Pistons. Stanley Johnson goes to the Bucks. And remember that name because he also got shipped out later.
Yeah, good restart for Thon Maker. He'll be able to go to the Pistons and actually get some minutes. Stanley Johnson already got flipped, so not too much to analyze here.
Quick one here as well, because Malachi Richardson later got waived by the Sixers. They trade more or less cash for a second-round pick and a European guy that's never going to come over and actually play. The Bulls-Wizards, meanwhile, they made a fairly notable trade. Otto Porter goes to Chicago in exchange for Bobby Portis, Jabari Parker, and a second-round pick, a move that you hate for the Wizards, Harris.
Way too much about this, so I'm just going to say calmly, Ernie Grunfeld is the worst GM in basketball. Again, he has gotten just taken advantage of. There are very few GMs in basketball who could be taken advantage of by Garpax, one of the worst front offices in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls. But the Wizards did, and they look like idiots, as usual.
All right, Suns and the Heat, Tyler Johnson, Wayne Ellington, the latter of whom is a very likely buyout candidate. They get shipped off to the Suns in exchange for Ryan Anderson. So Heat trying to clear up some contracts or cap space there. Really,
yeah, good move for Tyler Johnson also. Gets out of Miami. Will definitely have more playing time in Phoenix. Just a weird it's just a little bit weird. I'm not really sure what the Miami Heat are planning to do right now, but shedding money is clearly on that plan.
Another potential buyout candidate here, Markieff Morris. He goes to the Pelicans along with a second-round pick for Wesley Johnson as he got moved again.
Wesley Johnson gets traded again
Wizards,
for like the 8th time.
Okay, why? The NBA deadline featured quite a few. Okay, well, I guess that's
But
cool
why?
trades. Yeah, I guess
why?
that's cool. Here's one that actually made sense. My personal favorite trade at the deadline this year. Zebo and Justin Jackson go out to the Mavs in exchange for Harrison Barnes. The Mavs free up cap space for this summer. They get a potentially decent young bench player in Justin Jackson, and the Kings get better right now with Harrison Barnes to make a push at the playoff run and then hopefully retain him as well.
Yeah, it's a good move for the Kings, and it's a good move for the Mavs. Getting Justin Jackson as a nice young 7th or 8th man on a rookie deal is a good get for Harrison Barnes, who is a rental. I think it's also good for the Kings. You got to get good veterans in there with playoff experience, and Harrison Barnes has just that. I think it's going to be a really, really good fit next to De'Aaron Fox. The one thing that is confusing, though, to me is this next trade with the Kings. Now, I was thinking about this before. If you got Harrison Barnes, why trade away Iman Shumpert? Why not just keep Shumpert and not do this deal? Because all they got was Alec Burks. And I'd argue Iman Shumpert is better. He's having a pretty good year this year. So just a little bit confused
that's true, I guess,
with the Kings' background on these trades. Like, they're not bad trades. Alex Burks is a nice player, and Harrison Barnes is good. Good things for him.
I kind of like Burks, though.
I do, too. He's a good player. Just, if you're the Kings, I just wonder why they don't keep Shumpert. Like, it's not like they got a pick out of this or anything. They just basically swapped him on Shumpert for Alec Burks. It's just a little strange for me.
All right. That was also part of a big deal. Cavs got a first-round pick. That was the big boost for them as Stauskas and Baldwin get moved again. The Sixers-Rockets, meanwhile, they do a pick swap, and Sixers get James Ennis. Okay, cool. Hook 'em. Common theme today on the NBA trade deadline. Meanwhile, one we did like that happen right as we went live today. Nikola Mirotic goes to the Bucks. The Pelicans get Jason Smith, Stanley Johnson, and 4 second-round picks.
I love this trade for the Bucks. I think it's going to be great for Milwaukee to get a stretch 4 in there that can actually hit jumpers from the outside. A little worried about his long-term health. He's had some injury issues in the past, but overall, it's a great risk for the Bucks. A couple second-round picks for a guy who's a free agent this offseason. I think it's worth it.
Then the Pacers, in another trade involving Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin, who have now been waived. They also get a second-round pick. Then Marty Lunin, who is an overseas draft rights guy who's 33, never going to come over. This is the example of, well, we have to actually get something back in a trade. Here's a random draft rights guy that we're actually never going to see play.
Yeah.
So make it legal.
It's not a big deal at all. It's just about trying to get money to move around. So basically, the Rockets paid the Pacers to waive those 2 guys with the second-round pick so that the money wouldn't be on their cap. And since the Pacers have a good amount of cap room, it's no big deal to them.
Clippers and the Grizzlies agreed to a deal involving Avery Bradley, with the Clippers getting Garrett Temple and JaMychal Green, which you don't really like, and I don't blame you, because what does Avery Bradley actually do for the Grizzlies?
The hell is the Grizzlies doing? Like what the actual hell are the Grizzlies doing? Trading away Garrett Temple, JaMychal Green, 2 decent trade pieces to get back nothing. They got nothing back. Avery Bradley is not worth time. And then this Marc Gasol trade, they got a bunch of players who could win games.
Yeah.
That's not the point here. The point is to not win games.
Jonas Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and that 2024 second-round pick. So Grizzlies, I think, kind of caught in no man's land. Not good enough to make the playoffs, not bad enough to actually suck and tank. And Valanciunas, Wright, Miles just kind of keep you, well, we'll finish, 10th in the West or something.
I am so tired of... I'm tired of raging about the Grizzlies. They aren't worth my time.
We broke Harris once again. How about your rage about the Lakers? Mike Muscala comes over in exchange for Michael Beasley and Ivica Zubac, which, okay. But why?
You know what I can't wait for? The Lakers game tonight against the Celtics. Because you're going to see a team that really, really hates everybody on it. And you're going to see a leader in LeBron James that is not going to get conducive play from the teammates around him. You're not going to see players who are going to want to be out there on the court giving their hardest to a franchise that would have traded them away for nothing. I think that the way the Lakers handled this trade is as bad as any team has handled any prospective trade for as long as I can remember. They completely butchered this. They absolutely ruined their relationship with a lot of young players on this team. And now they trade away Zubac, one of the better young players on their team, to their crosstown rival for 6 months of Mike Muscala.
There you go.
It's just
Clear cap space.
We talk a lot about if Luke Walton's job is in jeopardy. We should be talking more about why is Rob Pelinka's job not in jeopardy. He and Magic Johnson have been awful. Legitimately awful.
First Lakers-Clippers trade since 1983 amid some buzz that the Lakers could now sign Carmelo Anthony. Had been reported way back when that they weren't going to sign him unless a roster spot opened. And then a roster spot does open up now with this trade. And there has been a report that the Lakers will at least consider adding Carmelo to the meme team. There you go.
Sad.
All right, the other trade here, Portland and the Kings swapping big men. Caleb Swanigan goes for Skull, my boy.
I like it. It's a good trade for both sides. You're just trading away 2 former first-round picks that have both kind of just been busts. Again, it might be a better fit on their
Change of scenery. Maybe it works, you know?
Who knows? We'll see.
Another kind of okay, cool hook'em trade. Shelvin Mack to the Hawks, Tyler Dorsey to the Grizzlies. Grizzlies got a young option. Hawks are going to waive Shelvin Mack, by the way.
I'm done raging.
So there you go. This was a fun one that broke in just before the end of the actual trade deadline. The Sixers and the Magic. The Magic get Markelle Fultz. He does go on the move. Gets to have a new chance at a second life in the NBA. Meanwhile, Jonathan Simmons, a first-round pick in 2020 from the Thunder, and the Cleveland Cavaliers second-round pick go to the Philadelphia 76ers, Harris.
I have switched. I originally thought that the 76ers fleeced the Magic. I'm actually more on the Magic side now. I think this was a great risk. They traded a guy in Jonathan Simmons who isn't playing. He's just not playing for them. He doesn't do anything for them. A 2020 first-round pick that's been traded 4 times really doesn't hold a lot of value to the Magic. And a second-round pick. So really, you didn't give up too much for the former number 1 overall pick in the draft. And also, mind you this, when he does come back, there's going to be no pressure because nobody watches the Magic anyway.
Exactly.
There you go. So it's no big deal.
Look, I think it's a win-win for both teams.
Yeah,
to an extent. I mean, obviously, if you want to go all the way back when Fultz has been a bust pick for the 76ers, it has not worked out well. But you get something back of value. Maybe Jonathan Simmons can help you out as another wing option, if only on the bench. And maybe those draft picks emerge into something. So they got at least a little bit of value back for Fultz, who, in reality, we don't know what the hell he's going to be in the NBA. He's so broken right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets fixed in Orlando.
He's got to get a new start. I think this is the best way to do it.
Hawks and the Celtics made a trade here. Jabari Bird and Cash goes to Atlanta. Atlanta will waive Jabari Bird, and the Celtics' second-round pick that they're getting back is what we literally call a fake pick. It's top 55 protected from the Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks to win the title.
Therefore, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. It's just a way for the Celtics to get Jabari Bird's contract off their books. No big deal.
The last trade here, we don't know what the Raptors are getting back at this point, but the Nets are getting Greg Monroe and a 2020 second-round pick, and they plan to eventually waive Greg Monroe.
Exactly. They're going to waive Greg Monroe.
Sean Marks doing the old, yes, I will take your second-round pick. Thank you, bye.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
They're going to cut Greg Monroe. The problem with the Raptors now is that they do not have a bench.
They have 10 players. They're going to get active in the buyout market, I would assume.
Oh, I would assume too. So a couple updates about the buyout market.
Okay, what you got?
Told the Enes Kanter's Celtics rumor is a little bit overblown, that there's not much interest right now between the two. Also heard that, like you said, the Pacers are going after Wesley Matthews really, really hard. But the Detroit Pistons, as of right now, are going after Wayne Ellington the hardest and will in the buyout market as well. So keep an eye out.
All right, guys. So type S if you've subscribed already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Those were all the trades that happened today during the NBA trade deadline.